This is what Star Wars could have been.
Right.
This
Has
is what
not been the long.
This is what DC should have done.
Not to jump into that.
If they had thought, we're not going to go too far into it, but if they had thought things through, this is what Star Wars could have been. It could have been 21 movies or 22 movies, and they all culminated together and made them millions and billions of dollars. But they were they're just so stupid. It's like you look what you did. Look what you did. You made billions of dollars on storytelling, on getting people to run into the fucking movie theater, and then you throw this bullshit at us. Star Wars is non-profit. It's a non-profit organization now. It's a complete. There's nothing. You're not going to make any fucking money from this pile of shit. Anyway, I'm done.
Shame.
I don't think they're non-profit because I'm pretty sure they still have to pay taxes.
It's still non-profit.
I'll take S words for 200.
What's the difference between you and a duck with a cold? One's a sick duck, and I can't remember how it goes, but your mother's a whore.
You're liking this webpage. It's inevitable. Fan of film was inevitable. Me scoring the soundtrack to this whole goddamn orchestra was inevitable.
Well, people made fun of Iron Man and Thor. Those were two comics that were made fun of in the 80s. Oh, yeah. I mean, X-Men X-Men were the ones that were cool. Everybody got into X-Men because everybody loved Wolverine and everybody loves Cyclops and Magneto.
No one loves Cyclops.
Okay, that's okay. Like I
screw Cyclops.
Okay, you guys are talking about
Cyclops is great.
What? Nah.
Okay, so we're talking about two different eras completely. Yeah, you guys don't get it.
I mean,
we're all like, nah, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, but
Cyclops was the smart guy of the bunch. I mean,
he did kind of have Gene, but not really.
It wasn't the Gene thing. It was the fact that he had to rein in all the freaking X-Men and actually, I don't know. He was the guy that made things happen. Everybody else were kind of just going off on tangents, doing what they're.
He's kind of the captain. He's kind of the Captain America of the X-Men.
He's very much.
He is the Captain America of X-Men.
Captain America.
Like he doesn't want to necessarily be the leader, but he's like, we need to step up and do this.
Let's get the hate going right now. Let's just get the Captain hate going right now.
Okay, you know what?
He hates Captain America.
Did you guys like the moment with Thor and his mom? I thought that was actually nice and tender. I hated it at first because I didn't like him taking his panic attacks, but it was nice to see him see his mom and then have his character resolve in that way.
Nice and tender, dude. That was filet mignon, man. That was such a great scene. I loved him and his mom.
Cool. Okay, cool.
It was awesome.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she's a great actress too, right?
I like the way they did it because I can't remember if we said this with the camera on or not, but like when they did that, because when they first showed Thor's just like, I'm having fun. Oh, I'm fat, but I still like to party, And then he's just sitting there making jokes, and the only negative thing he says while they're around is, "We don't say that name here." And then
Voldemort.
After that, he's joking around, he's laughing, he's drinking, he's having a good time. The only way they get him on the ship is they're like, "There's beer on the ship." Okay.
What kind?
But then it's just he gets there and he's like, "I can't do this, I can't do this," and then when he starts talking to his mom, he's explaining what happened when he decapitated freaking Thanos.
Okay, and then War Machine and Nebula. Raiders of the Lost Ark moment.
Dude, that was great.
Pretty funny.
And that's what I'm saying. That little moment where she's like, "I wasn't always like this," and he's like, "Neither was I." It was such I don't know. It was like a little bonding moment where she's like, "Well, I'm not so different from them."
Yeah, but is he comparing his
cybernetic
pants?
Yeah.
No, it's Robo Chaps.
I didn't used to be this badass.
I used to be able to use my legs. Then I can't. Now I can again. So.
And now I'm cool.
I understand where you're coming from.
More than I ever lifted before.
But I'm paralyzed.
My legs are stronger than they ever were. You were abused by your dad. I know where you're coming from.
We're the same.
I just loved it when War Machine's like, what did he say? He's like, when you see a hallway like this and you see a light in the middle of it, there are booby traps going to be coming right out of the side of the thing. There are these spikes coming out. Okay, fine. You want to go? Go right ahead. She's like, whatever. But it was just a funny. It was a funny.
It was a good moment.
It was such a Raiders of the Lost Ark moment. Cap and Iron Man in New Jersey in the 70s. This was a great moment because they actually had 70s. That was the 70s.
It had the time.
70s, man.
They kept saying the weird hippie beard or the beatnik beard or whatever.
Beatniks are like 50s, 60s.
Well, they were. That's why it was funny because he was like, "You're the beatnik," when it's beatnik's like a 50s term. That's why it was funny. But my assessment of it. But I just thought it was funny because it was great. It was a great moment because he's like stealing the Tesseract, hanging out with his dad. His dad, right?
Yeah. That was totally his dad.
It was pretty.
I like how he couldn't think
Stark.
of a name, so he just Howard Potts.
It's such Back to the Future moments there. This whole movie was Back to the Future 2, I swear. Like there are so many beats, every point. Like, oh yeah, this scene. This is the angle from this scene.
Dude, that was when I realized Tony was probably gonna die. It was when he met his dad.
Oh yeah, okay. It's just like resolution. It's
it was resolution.
Yeah.
It was like.
Like what was Howard doing down in the basement to begin with? Because he didn't.
He worked there.
Right, he worked there, but he was going down to the basement for a reason, and it probably wasn't to hang out with Tony, you know. But he just was like, "Oh yeah, well, I guess
I'm here, but I'm leaving.
And now you're here, so I guess I'm walking you out now." So I didn't really have to do anything down here in this subterranean basement. Nothing going on
at all. You here with the
nothing happening.
A briefcase that is locked.
Well, I think
our most infamous.
My favorite part of it is the fact that, like, I honestly think Howard Stark would have reacted the same way to Tony hugging him if he would have known that that was his son. Like, he would have just been like,
I don't know. It's not.
No, it was tender when he's like, "Who is that guy? He's familiar." Yeah, that's when I was like, "Dude, he's gonna die."
It was Tony's last movie. It was Steve's last movie. Probably, well, unless they do it, but Natasha's last movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like all these, so you can't have all those people die. So it's like they had Black Widow sacrifice herself. That was good. And then like, okay, well, still like only one of the two guys can die. The way they wrote Cap off was perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's like he sacrificed so much. Like he literally was frozen in ice for like 80 years for his country.
I know. I like that during the therapy session when he was talking about that. He's like, I've done this before. He's like, I went in the ice with the woman I love, came out of the ice, started all over. He's like,
I love the
you
fact
gotta move
you
on.
can't blame him for that in the sense of just like, you know what?
He's right.
You've done so much.
Or two, how he's like, yeah, when I was on my way over, I saw a pot of whales. He's like, I haven't seen that in years. Like they were touching on like, well, Thanos wasn't wrong. Like there was a couple hints throughout the movie of like, well, life isn't like too bad. But I don't know.
Life isn't too bad.
I mean, it could be worse, you know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Life's not too bad.
There was a lot of, it could be worse.
Like, look at it this way. There's less traffic. I don't have to wait in line at the grocery store anymore.
There's no grocery attendant at the store.
I just like how it's a post-apocalyptic world, pretty much. But they still have a security guard working the self-storage building. Like,
right? Looking at the cameras. Like,
he
just like sitting around. He's like getting paid minimum wage just to look at the cameras. Like, bro,
it was like that was his job before everybody was gone.
Yeah,
you know, there was nobody that came by anyway. I was just really amazed at the storytelling prowess.
Is there something that sticks out to you that you're like, dang?
Well, it's not a moment in the movie, but I realized something. In Guardians of the Galaxy, the next one, the Gamora and Quill, they're gonna have the most awkward conversations because Quill's gonna have all these memories. Hey, we worked together a while. We did all this stuff, and she's gonna be like, I don't remember any of that. Leave me alone.
Guardians 2, nothing. Guardians 1, nothing. You know, I think my favorite, and it's probably not one particular moment, but I really like the fact that they were going back through time to the originals of these shows and seeing themselves from alternate perspectives. And it was done in just such a way that it didn't seem like something that had been done before necessarily. It seemed still very fresh.
It was tasteful.
And it just really just made you realize just how far this franchise has come and how long it's taken to get to this particular point. And you're like, man, you know, if Star Wars would have been in that particular, you know, way of continuing things, because this has been 10 years of just straight movie, and of course they've been doing the little side shoots of different movies that haven't really, necessarily been part of the continuum, but they're still within. You know, it's been one constant push the entire time.
This is what Star Wars could have been.
Right.
This is
what not been the long.
This is what DC should have done.
Not to jump into that.
If they had thought, we're not going to go too far into it, but if they had thought things through, this is what Star Wars could have been. It could have been 21 movies or 22 movies, and they all culminated together and made them millions and billions of dollars. But they were they're just so stupid. It's like you look what you did. Look what you did. You made billions of dollars on storytelling, on getting people to run into the fucking movie theater, and then you throw this bullshit at us. Star Wars is non-profit. It's a non-profit organization now. It's a complete. There's nothing. You're not going to make any fucking money from this pile of shit. Anyway, I'm done.
Shame.
I don't think they're non-profit because I'm pretty sure they still have to pay taxes.
It's still non-profit.